3, 2, 1. Hey, it's Dad's Vintage Garage checking in. Hadn't talked to you guys in a while. And I'm not watching the Super Bowl. And I just made the rookie mistake here. Let me there we go. Hadn't checked in a while. Everybody knows I'm frazzled, man. I tell you, a lot been's going on. The kiddos are up at Grandma and Grandpa's watching the Super Bowl. Caroline's up there. I had no interest in the Super Bowl, so I'm sitting here trying to figure out what I, get planned out for my week and all that. I don't even check if there are other people doing lives right now. Probably so. Can't imagine every reseller is a big fan of football. So I'm just going to ramble, clear my head, see what's up. 3 weeks ago, Thursday, my mom fell in the nursing home. And any of y'all, friends of the channel and all that know that she's got dementia, Alzheimer's. She fell, she broke her hip, she got her hip replaced, and then we had the challenge of rehabbing her. And it's been, what is the saying? Comedy of errors. It's almost been a horror of errors on the whole rehab situation. And we finally got her back yesterday. Today's Sunday, so February 1st, we got her back to her old facility where she was staying. And we just found out some things, and I'm going to follow up on this because I really feel that you've got to be an advocate for your you got to be an advocate. Hey, Wes Max, how are you? An advocate for your loved one, but also an advocate for all those ones that don't have loved ones or all those other patients and all that. So long story short, when she was on checkout, they handed my sister a prescription and said, hey, here's the prescription for the sedation medicine we've been giving her. And my sister's like, what's going on with that? And all medicine changes and all that were supposed to be run through my sister, and they didn't do it. And about a week, we were working with her, trying to, do the PT and all that. She was tired. She wouldn't wake up, and we were kind of attributed to maybe we're walking her too much and all that. Well, now we find out that they had been sedating her. Even the physical therapy guy was coming down and said, man, I don't understand why she's so tired, because she really hadn't been walking that much. So anyway, we've got to figure out what's going on with that. It's just totally hello first, Jennifer. Thank y'all for popping in. I think there's some other lives going on, a couple of pickers and all that. I'm just winding down. Kiddos are up at Grandma's, like I said. So anyway, we're dealing with my mom. Tomorrow my brother's going to be over. She's back to her old facility. We got her a hospital bed that'll adjust and all that. So we're hoping that that'll help her a little bit. But we're just got to figure out our new norm. Hey, Bum Crack. Welcome to the Sunday night chat with no Super Bowl talk. So we got to figure out what the new norm is, I guess, with her. And with her, if any of y'all have loved ones with dementia, it's just a terrible disease, not only for the one that's dealing with it, but for the family too. And, it's mixed emotions on. We just got to give her the best quality of lifestyle and the most dignity because she cannot defend herself. Yeah, Wes Max, you were first, but Jennifer and I always talk about whenever we're in chats and all that, who says first hi to each other first. And so it's been a thing that's just our YouTube relationship has developed where we just say hi. We try to say hi first. That's the first thing we do. So it's been kind of neat. I said hi first to Jennifer on her jar video the other day, and then she corrected me and said that she had said hi first at the beginning of the video to everybody. So, so that's what's going on with my mama bear. And so my brother, we're still kind of on call. We're kind of every other day, but eventually the staff has got to step up and kind of start caring for her too, because that's kind of what they've contracted to do. So we'll see what happens with that. eBay has been kind of slow. I did list some while my mom was in rehab. I would take a few pieces in and list, and go figure the pieces that I listed are some of the things that are selling. I've sold some sprinkler heads, and what else sold? Something else. Oh, and some protein formula and all that. So I've got to like kind of reevaluate. I'm trying to get my clutter down. We're making progress, but it's just overwhelming. I'm getting lazy too, because I haven't really done much retail arbitrage. I did do a little bit today at the Walgreens. I ended up buying some super acne treatment that had good numbers and good comps on it. And then there was some hydration pills the other day that again had some good comps on it. Some of it was kind of short dated that I might let my boys use for baseball, but then the other stuff I'm going to put on eBay. And then I did buy some pruning blades that I'm going to bundle up in a bundle of 3 and put those on Amazon, because the comps were good on those for Amazon. And it's getting ready to be springtime here in the U.S., so it'll be good. That thing will move pretty quick. I don't sell a lot on Amazon, but I like having a little bit of action and kind of figure out my niche and all that. So oh yeah, West Max, yeah, over on Anthony. Yeah, thanks for stopping in. Really, I wasn't sure. Thank y'all for just stopping and listening to me ramble. Matter of fact, I'll put the link in here, and if anybody wants to pop in, you'll figure out how to do it. Paste. There we go. Oh, is that West Max? What, tie game 10-10? Okay. I know it's the 49ers in Kansas City. I'm cheering for the 49ers, I guess, because my brother was always a big 49ers fan when we were younger. So that's the story. I'm sticking to it. So I've got retail arbitrage. I've got some piles of stuff I've got to list up on eBay. I've got some souvenir spoons that I pulled out of a house. I'm going to do a video on those, and I think I'm going to just put them up for auction. They're kind of neat, but I can't hold on to all this stuff. I've got to get some stuff moving. My whole goal is to be in a position where, and I've got about let's see, February, March, probably got about 5 weeks before we start having a few yard sales in the area. I want to be in the position where I can just go out and kind of shop for fun to resell. I depend on income. I guess I've got to make over 1,000, under 2,000 to kind of make my commitments. And so it's not a lot of money. And of course, my wife is a librarian for the county, so she's got her income, and she's the one that takes the benefits and all that. But we were talking about just maybe upping our game a little bit, using my time more wisely. And I've got to get the clutter moved up. I've been moving some furniture on Facebook Marketplace. I like that because it's like, man, I can sell a t-shirt for 10, or I can sell a piece of furniture for 70, 80, 90 bucks. And it's done. So that's, yeah, anybody wants to pop on, make sure you send me waiting if you want to pop in. So that's the extent of my eBay. I've been working on paperwork. I've got to get all my paperwork documentation ready for taxes. I am responsible for my taxes, which is married couple with 3 kids taxes. Then I've got my mom's taxes, and then I've got the I guess the estate trust taxes for my mom and dad, because my dad had set up some of the stuff to help with my mom in a trust. So I've got 3 sets of taxes I got to do, and I do hire it out. I let somebody else do the taxes, and just be honest with you. You're going to pay it one way or the other. Just be honest. I've always believed that, the more taxes you pay, the more money you're making. But also, if you're not honest with that stuff, or fair with the way you do your numbers, and there's sometimes where I might make 20, 30 bucks on a piece of furniture, but then I don't deduct my mileage. So it all, or if I wanted to be that extreme, But I don't believe if you're constantly cheating the system, you're going to get blessed or with abundance. And you just got, you'll be blessed if you treat everybody right and fair. So what else going on this past week? I had a run in with my substitute mail woman, and that was a production. That was on Monday. And long story short, I have a ring video of the whole incident. It honestly would be a viral video on YouTube, but I don't want to fan the flames. And also, I'm kind of guilty in charge in the video too, because I went in my substitute mail carrier's mail truck, and I actually did grab my packages back, and I grabbed her scanner to hopefully hand it to her. She drove off and left the scanner in my hand. But that was that was a deal. It was a kind of, I don't know. I don't cuss. Very rarely do I cuss. I'm not gonna say never, but I'm either have to be super mad or maybe super drunk, which I'm never that anymore. But basically, I had missed the mail lady in my front yard, so we always work with the neighbor across the street. He's a eBayer also, and we always take the mail over there and catch them on the backside of the neighborhood. And I'd ask her, hey, can you? I had 3 packages. Can you please scan these? You can't tell me what to do, is what she told me. And then the second time I said, are you going to scan these? And she said, who are you talking to? So when she realized it wasn't my house, because at first she tried to hand me my neighbor's mail, and I said, no, I don't live here. And then she said, well, get away from my truck. She took a package up to the porch. And when she went up to the porch, I said, ma'am, I'm going to go in and get my packages. And she said, you cannot go in my truck. And it is a felony, I think, to go in a postal carrier's truck. So I'm guilty on that part. I said, ma'am, what's your name? And she said, none of your GD business. And I'm like, wow. And she came back to her truck. And she goes, what makes you think I'm not going to do my job? And I said, the way you're talking to me right now. I said, I'm calling the police, and I'm going to call the postmaster just to cover my hiney. And she said, well, I'm calling the police and the postmaster too. I said, please do. Please do. So long story short, I did call the police first. Then I called the postmaster. The police did come out. I texted my neighbor. I said, you may want to check your ring video. And he said, oh my, because the video was great. It came in with, it had the conversation with me on right at her truck. You can hear the door opening. You can kind of hear what I was scanning, asking her to scan. And you can hear, who are you talking to, all that. But it's very clear in the video when she says, none of your GD business. And so what ended up happening is the police came out, and I explained it to them. They said, sounds like you got things under control. We sat around, just talk some more. She came back, the postmaster, after I called him, he said, I totally believe what you said. We've had multiple complaints for this postal carrier. It does not surprise me. Is there any way you can come in and file a report? And so I felt good about that. I was hoping that she was just having a bad day, but no, this is how her behavior is. And there's been multiple complaints. Well, the postal carriers, I don't know, nationally or union, and it has taken a while to get things. I guess you have a complaint, it gets in the system. You've got a certain amount of weeks to get straight. And anyway, I filed a report. He said, thank you. I said, listen, I'm a small-time YouTuber, but I said, I have this video. And I said, hey, it's recording me and it's recording her. I'm not innocent too. I shouldn't have gone in the truck. I realize that. But I have to get my packages scanned, and I had no confidence that she was going to do it. And I shouldn't have grabbed her scanner. And I was like, I was on edge. I was about ready to honestly chunk that scanner down the road. I'm so glad I didn't, because I would have been in super trouble then. But I said, my neighbor's got a video of the whole thing. I want to show it to you. I said, I'm not going to put it on YouTube. It honestly, it would be a good viral video. It would, but I'm not going to flam the flames on that. And he asked me if I could share it with him. I said it belongs to my neighbor. My neighbor said yes, so we gave it to him. He thanked me just for the documentation and all that. And I hope things work out for her. I haven't seen her. She's basically does my route. Let's see, Monday was last week. They said Tuesday would be this week. Wednesday would be the following week. And I don't know, what her situation is. But anyway, so that was my run-in with the postal carrier. The packages have all been delivered. I think we're scanned in the system because I did take them. She didn't take them. I took them to the post office the next day. But that was my run-in with my substitute postal carrier. The neighbors came over and said, "Hey, what's the police car doing out front?" And I said, "Oh, I just had a run-in with the postal carrier." And one neighbor said, "Is that the lady that has the bandana on her head?" I said, "Yeah." She said, "I had a run-in with that lady too." And then the neighbor across the street that had the Ring video said, "I think that's the same postal carrier that cussed out my 8-year-old." So I can't imagine if 3 people in this small grouping have had complaints against her, how many other complaints on the route. So, hey, Myra, how are you? So I was just like, wow. So anyway, that was the start of my week. But the big thing that's been heavy on my heart is that the deal with the rehab, with them sedating my mom and not really letting us know that they had given her sedation. Now I know what they're going to say. Well, was your mom is a dementia patient. She was hard to deal with, and then my mom did. When they were trying to change her flipper, she is strong as an ox. She kicked or something where somebody had to end up going to the hospital to make sure that they were okay. So to keep her safe. But the thing is just like we needed to know that if you're going to sedate her, let us know because we were trying to wake her up to do PT. So anyway, so Myra, hey, I saw some of your posts on Facebook about today was the numerical 202020. I said, even before I saw who sent it, I knew that was from Myra. That's what I love about you, Myra, is some of the stuff that you end up posting. I said, that's Myra. That's Myra. That's Myra. So that was my run-in with my postal carrier. We had the week, got my mom straight. I've got one of my buddies you've seen in my past videos, Oliver. He's been battling with trying to get not custody of his daughter, just visitation with his daughter, and he's had some good news. So we're going to get him back on the radar of helping at my house on decluttering the garage and all that. I'm not on my deathbed, but I'm 52 years old. I'm not sure, unless I start drinking some special juice or something, I will still be around at 104. So I figured I better start cleaning some of this stuff out in my house. But I need to clean it out and give it to people that appreciate it. Like my kids have no interest in all my Boy Scout stuff. I've got patches and collections and medals and all that. They don't care about that stuff. And so I need to find new homes for that. I've got old military literature and handbooks, pamphlets from my grandfather that I think there's a market for militaria, and I'll start cleaning that out. It's just, we were starting to try to still put the living room back together after we put the floor down. And it's boxes that I've had 2 years, 3 years since my dad passed away, cleaning out that have just been sitting. And then some stuff, I think when we moved in this house, I haven't even touched those boxes. My hat, you know how you wear a hat? I have my Carhartt hat on today. And when you take it off, it still feels, I feel like I still have my hat on. So, so that was my hat. I went to the mall. Kendall had a birthday party at Build-A-Bear today. And we had daddy-daughter time. I had to run across town and deliver her to Build-A-Bear. I took a headboard over. Are you a big VMI person? I've got some. Hold on a second, Myra. Hold on. All right, y'all, peace out. Don't go. I'm still here. surprised I know where this stuff is, Myra. If I do, if I find it. All right, Mari, still there? I had like an rules of English at VMI, and then I had one of my guys. This isn't information, but this is a Under Armour large VMI shirt, and I was going to give it to my neighbor. My neighbor's kid went to VMI, and he just decided it wasn't for him. He's come home and he's very happy. He's like a diesel mechanic, and wow. So I occasionally run across, of course, a lot of some VMI stuff. I was wondering why you're so smart, Myra. So, hey, Cliff, welcome. I started watching your tail end of your health thing. I am, and let's see, we got 8 people in the chat or whoever's in here. I committed to buying space Myra's challenge of no fast food February, and even if I cut out 80%, I'm not doing fast food, but I'm cutting out fried food, trying to limit my bread. I ended up having some ceviche tonight and some cheddar cheese from Aldi's, and I on some Ritz crackers. So I know that that's the bread, but I am limiting my fried food, my breads. I really don't eat a lot of sugar, and candy and all that, but just kind of limiting my stuff. So anybody that wants to sign up for that or whatever, just commit to let somebody know in the chat or whatever, hey, I want to do the no fast food February, and let us know. We're all checking in on you. But I'm really excited about it. The hard part for me is I'm cutting out Chick-fil-A, and show me stuffed animals on the live. Are you watching me, Cooper? What stuffed animals? What stuffed animals, Cooper? Cooper's calling me to say I need to show some stuffed animals. I have no idea what he's talking about. So I'm a big Chick-fil-A guy, but I am not cutting out tea. But I don't drink sweet tea at Chick-fil-A. It's my first cup is normally just a full cup of unsweet tea, no ice, with 2 lemons. And then next cup is a little ice, unsweet tea, and I still keep the 2 lemons to soak. So if you can cut out fast food, that's a lot. And then Caroline's challenged me to just walk down to the end of the street and walk back, which I'm glad she told me that, because I was worried about her telling me to walk down to the end of the street and then keep walking. But no, she wants me back. She told me to walk down and then come back. So I'm happy about that. So let's see what else is going on. Kendall and I did a little bit on the way back from her Build-A-Bear. We delivered a headboard also from my Sprint girl, Liz. She's been in the chat before. I know she's not on the chat tonight because she's been homesick a couple days, and then she's just gotten her first apartment as a young lady, kind of out on her own, and all her guys that work in her Sprint store with her, a lot of them live at home with their parents, so they're going to have a Super Bowl party at her house. And so she had gotten a headboard at Home Goods on a great clearance deal, and I had my truck, so I took it over to her. And then she had some other furniture delivered, and then she was going to have a Super Bowl party. So let's see what Cliff say. Cliff, let me see if I highlight it. Do at least 30 days absolutely no grain. You'll feel fantastic. I agree. I know I had at one time had reached ketosis, and the weigh-in the other day is what got me motivated too. Was every time I go to see my mom in her facility, her home or whatever, they have a roll-on scale where I can step on and weigh, and I was back up to 259. Now, a couple things attributed to that. One, just being in and out of the rehab place with my mom and my schedule and all that. I've eaten a couple times at Panda Express, which I think is probably loaded with a lot of sugar and salt and carbs. And then I also had, I went up to visit my mom's old place before, and man, they had a great meal, man. They had like chicken and dumplings and apple pie with ice cream, and I pigged out that night too. So I probably did a 4,000 calorie day on that. So I agree. You gotta watch. And the older you get, I don't need as much food. I really don't. And I need to get up and just get away. And if I've got to dump it or save it for a leftover, that's what I need to do. So, all right, let's see. Myra's, what Myra's saying? That's what I was talking about. Myra knows. Thank you, Jennifer. I kind of covered up. We were talking who was on? Oh, Tommy. Tommy and Anthony and those guys where we were talking about printed shirts and all that, and how all these. I'm not a big fan of the really light shirts. I like the thick cotton shirts because the light shirts show your man boobs and your man nipples, and I feel better too, Cliff. You're right. When you lose some weight and all that. So thank you though, Jennifer. I do try to stay pretty active. I'm dealing with plantar fasciitis with my right foot. And I just tonight, before Caroline went up to her parents for the Super Bowl thing, we went out to DSW, and I ended up buying. I was looking for Brooks. I tried on New Balance, and I ended up settling for Skechers, but I didn't settle for them just to settle for them. They actually were the most comfortable. I bought an inserts for them, and they had like memory foam or something in there, and they just felt better. So I'm going to rotate between like 3 different pairs of shoes. And then I'm also going to make my own silicone inserts, which I was thinking about it already. And then go figure, they've got YouTube videos on YouTube on how to do it. And it's basically just very similar to what I was thinking. But I did learn you got to put glycerin in there to basically cure the silicone, because silicone cures with water, I guess. And so I'll be testing those out or making some of those. But you basically put it either with some he called it saran wrap, which is the brand name, but some plastic wrap on an insert with some silicone, and then you stand on it and it basically forms. And then silicone's pretty rigid in that it won't flatten out with gravity. So I'll let you know how those guys do. It's gonna. I hope it works, because I don't want to pay hundreds of dollars on putting inserts, trying to figure out inserts and all that. I'm going to roll my foot too with a ice bottle. And I wear a boot that kind of stretches my foot back at night. And I was not tolerating that good. One night I made it through the night, and I did feel better the next day. So I'm doing pretty good, probably 3/4 of the night with that boot. So if Harry's watching, it's a 2-drink show. I think I'm drinking Aldi's grapefruit sparkling water, and I buy that about 5 cases a week, and that's kind of what I drink. I did get at my grocery fresh or frozen grocery salvage this week. I got some. It was 3 half gallons of apple cider. Cinnamon apple cider, and it wasn't too cinnamony. I was worried about the cinnamon, but it was good apple cider, and the boys liked it too. That's a treat. I used to actually mix apple juice and ferment it in high school, and I don't know if it all turned into alcohol or whatever, but I thought it was special because it would you could shake it in a bottle and open it and fizz and all that. So Yeah, blah, 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 blah. I'm just looking, trying to stay on the chat and all that. Not watching, so blah, blah, blah. Yep, good. So let's see what else. I got my pile of stuff. I found a couple of my Christmas cards that I had not sent out that were in one of my files. And the boys got haircuts today, which my dad was in the military, so we had short haircuts to the point where a lot of times we got our hair cut and we were in tears and we got teased at school. But now that I'm a grown, and have kids, I understand what my dad was doing. So, what? Oh, were y'all watching me? How are you guys watching me? Oh, you guys were watching on the phone? All right, Kendall just showed up. So, what is the game over with?
No, it's halftime.
Oh.
I was watching.
All right, Kendall. So there's Kendall's Build-A-Bear. Oh, you cut that off. That's not yet. So she went to a birthday party with one of her girlfriends, and a bunch of girls showed up. And this is Hearts.
No, let me read all the information.
Oh, you got okay. Go get the information.
And I got a cupcake, but I got a.
Oh, she didn't share the cupcake with me. But this is Hearts. Okay. So show them the certificate you got, Kendall. So she gets a certificate.
And I got the house. Let me show you.
Oh my gosh, it's like show and tell. All right, get your thing. I'll show them your haircut real quick.
Did you want me to charge your phone?
Sure. What did you have my phone? Get down so they can see it. Turn to the side. He's looking handsome. There you go. There you go.
And asking about the cut.
Okay, show them the. All right, so she gets a little house for her Build-A-Bear.
And I got a gift card.
A coupon so you can go back and spend more money.
Yay.
Good thing we didn't spend. Although I drop her off and then I dropped her off and then I did retail arbitrage at Walgreens where I bought some Super Acne stuff and then dropped that headboard off and then came back to get Kindle. And then I was going to go to a Good Feet store and the Good Feet store was closed on Sunday. So, all right, so show your thing. Show your thing. All right.
So, birthday February 2, 2020. Name,
Stay still so they can hear you.
height 16 inches, weighed 17 ounces.
It was 7 ounces, so that's
7
under a pound.
ounces, blue eyes, fur color pink, and belongs to Kendall.
So our family is growing today. I'm not sure Hearts is going to be eating too much, but Kendall is in charge of taking care of Hearts.
And I got a unicorn for her outfit. Let me show you the cupcake.
Oh, and then she got a cupcake
She
too.
just threw it down.
So,
Look.
that's all that's left of her cupcake. She wouldn't share it with me either, which is good because I'm not supposed to eat it. Get it away from me. I actually did try to ask her for a bite. She said you wouldn't like it because it had candy flavor, and she actually knows me. Candy flavor does not sound good. All right, please don't drop that on the floor.
Kendall's in its box.
You want to try it?
So anyway, I sold some sprinkler heads on eBay today, and I cannot find them. They're somewhere because I remember doing the listings.
Did you seriously do that again? You don't know.
Oh no, I did it again. I listed them when Susa was in rehab, and so I've got to find them. I've got tomorrow. I like getting my shipping out in a day, but that's what I get for it. I'm a hobby reseller right now. Seriously, my numbers are lowest, but I really haven't listed since like the first week in December, so it's time to get back to work. All right, Kendall, do you need your box here? Is it like halftime?
Yeah.
Oh, it is. So I did see on one of the Facebook feeds the Ellen DeGeneres Alexa commercial.
Oh yeah, that was cool.
That thing was pretty cool. You know, what do they do in the old days with Alexa? It was cute commercial. So I will save my time and just kind of watch them all on the internet later, and we'll all be happy.
Yeah, the commercials were pretty good.
So-
Yeah, they have Porsche commercial.
You'll all be
and
happy
they had a
because I'm
commercial
here.
with Bungie Young. That was really
Who's
good.
Bungie Young?
He was like the 2017 Sports Athlete of the Year.
All right.
Look at that,
I have no
Dad.
idea who that is.
Look.
Great, Kendall. Is that your
Yeah, and
dinner?
they like ran on the field.
So they probably gonna do something special for Kobe too.
Oh yeah, they stood on the 24-yard line.
Was that his number?
Yeah,
Okay.
it was 24-8.
So what'd you do to your face? How'd you do that? Right.
Dad, you know,
What'd you
I fell
do?
on my trampoline, chat.
Oh, he fell on the
So I was doing
trampoline.
a front flip, and then like I landed. When I was landing it, my feet so I was like this, and my feet just I slid forward, and I just slid across the trampoline.
And you hit something steel, or
Huh?
what'd you do?
No, it's just because of burned.
Oh, okay.
Dad,
Going off the tread, and all the
broke
blacks.
trampoline.
All right.
And all the
Break the
black
trampoline, then we
stuff
don't
went
need
all
it.
over
So.
it.
No.
Hey, you want to use trampoline?
Uh-huh.
I love how.
All right, Kendall, you can get away unless you have something else you want to talk about. All right. Hey, here's your rehearsal thing.
Can I tell them?
No, tell me later. Finish eating. You need to hey, get a broom and sweep up the crumbs that you just dropped right here, please.
I got some. Oh, whatever.
Yes, you dropped some, Kendall. Okay, I'm gonna post the
What?
link if anybody wants to come in, hang out. And honestly, if anybody ever wants to come in and not be visual but just vocal, I have no problem with that. It helps with just the chat and all that. You do not have to put your mug up if you don't want to, or see how nice and neat your house is, or how messy it is, or whatever.
Ours is really messy.
Hey,
you ready?
what? All right, so Kendall, what is this for? Music?
It's for my program. Bebop with Aesop.
Bebop with Aesop. Okay, she's got it. Are you gonna remember it, or are you gonna read off the thing?
Read off the thing.
Okay, so do it real quick, and then let me get back to rambling and gambling and unwinding. Whoa.
Daddy, don't make me fall.
Okay, go sit on my lap.
And
I gotta enjoy these times, because I realize the older they get, they're not gonna want to hang out with your daddy.
our next fable will tell us of a grasshopper dude who has a real what me wrong attitude, and some ants who show him without a doubt that there was something he should have worried about.
And she's gonna be dramatic about it too, right, Kendall?
Worried about.
Eventually. When is this program? The 14th?
Oh, no. Let me see.
Okay. So, Myra, I was telling somebody the other day, this clock is a dumpster dive. Oh, shoot. Daggone it, I just dented my table.
Oh, you're a bad boy.
Well, I thought one of the leads was busted off, but it doesn't even have one of the batteries in it. So I might get away with putting a new battery in it. But anyway, this was a dumpster dive clock. And it's correct twice a day, which if you ever sell a clock and it's not working, you can just say it's correct twice a day. So dumpster dive clock. I do have another clock though, by the way. Caroline didn't like it, so I'll end up yeah, I dented that pretty good. But hey, we got stuff to use, so I'm not worried about it. There we go. Let me show you this other clock I got. So this is, let's see, probably about 24 inches. And it was $40 retail. And I did not pay it. I have a buyer for it. possibly. So I don't want to mention how much I paid for it. But you know me, I'm pretty cheap. It's a 24-inch. Let's see if it says on the thing. Made in China. So clocks are one of the things that if you're a dumpster diver, you do find some clocks. You find a lot of lanterns. Today, I found when our dumpster diving today, we found some candles, and a lot of the candles with the glass is broken, and they just throw them away. I just stick them on a plate and burn them, even if the glass is broken. One of them had a wooden wick, which is the first time I've had a wooden wick candle, and man, it smells good. So, and then there was one that was kind of a little sweeter smelling, but I've got them in a bag out in my garage, and it makes the garage smell good, just them sitting there. And then I got a lamp that it's called a candle heater, and it's almost like a desk lamp, and you stick it the lamp right above the candle, and it melts the wax, and I guess that the spray, I think that's what you call it, the candle spray, is how far the scent is thrown. It melts the wax without lighting it. And then I guess you pour the wax off. If the scent goes out, then you pour the top wax off, and then it kind of resets it. So that was a return. And then I got a bunch of white canvas. I think it was 12 by 18 and 12 by 12 white canvas paint squares. And they had basically smashed the top one, but all the other, it's a pack of 7. So there were 6 good ones in there. So the cedar, what do you talk about? The cedar, my table, or it's just MDF plywood, the clock is. Oh man. Also, I am trying to get in bed earlier and not stick up, and I have cut back a little bit on my social media. A lot back, really. And just need a break from it. I'm finding some different content. I like a couple of my favorites, I guess, are the Hoof GP. He's a guy out of Scotland that does veterinary work on a lot of cows and their hoofs. And then the candle wick. I got you. I do not know. I don't know if it's a cedar or not. It's the first time, and it's about very thin and about a 1/2 inch wide, and it's down the middle of the candle. So I suspect. Oh, Cliff, how long you been down there, buddy?
Oh, forever. I'm growing a beard. I'm getting gray.
You look like the werewolf in London, Wolfman Jack DJ. Remember that guy? So
I used to listen to. I used to listen to Wolfman Jack. His show is featured on an AM radio show up in Canada here.
I watch.
All right,
it's Wolfman Jack. I love some of those old shows. Matt, we were talking about the boys getting haircuts today, and I said, man, I don't want to get a haircut. I value the hair I've got. And Caroline pulled out the Captain Steubing talk on me, that in 5 years I might be looking like Captain Steubing, where we've got the white on the side and I got nothing in the middle from the Love Boat. You remember Captain Steubing?
Yeah.
Jennifer says he does look like Wolfman Jack. Yeah, it shows how old we are. I tell you what, I don't think I act my age. And sometimes
you're not supposed to.
Like dumpster diving, man. It used to be, man, no problem, just hop right in the dumpster. Now I'm a little bit concerned I'll slip and can't get out.
Well, I'm watching the Treasure Hustlers. I'm watching, what was it, Jackie? Is the one that always jumps in the dumpster. I was like, man, if I tried some of them moves, I'd pull something.
Well, I was watching her the other night. She reminded me she was framing a house because she was walking the edge of that dumpster behind Home Depot. And I said, and they found that nice stainless steel freezer. And I said, you need to pull the drawers out of that sucker, man, because the middle drawer has got like an insert, and the insert I think is about a $60 to $80 drawer. And if you can pull the model number off the fridge and kind of grab those accessories off there, you've got some money.
Oh, wow.
So, but anyway, hey, thanks for popping in, because I know you've kind of cut back on some of your late night media stuff and all that. And isn't it nice to kind of get some of your time back?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah. I kind of miss it, but then I kind of don't some, you know. And I'm not saying that to be disrespectful to anybody, but it's just kind of like it didn't really consume you.
Well, I've actually got more friends on YouTube than I do within 100-mile radius of me, so.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Have you had any more movement in your house?
Yeah.
Are they friendly? Friendly?
They're not mean.
Right. So that one of those other websites I was talking about, or YouTubers, is Proper People. Do you watch those guys?
No.
They've got a good little following. They go around and explore abandoned buildings, construction projects, asylums, hospitals, amusement parks, all around the world, called Proper People. And and they do a really professional job. And it's just, you know, these old buildings. I don't think I could be in like in a basement of a hospital, and the only thing you've got is the lights on your camera, and you're, you know, no. I'll watch it on YouTube.
If I had the light, that might be okay. But if I was looking at just the camera in night mode and looking at the screen, that
Right.
would be a little more ominous.
You talk. Yeah, I haven't been sleeping good, so I put Netflix on last night, and they've got a new series called Nature at Night, and it's those high, I guess the heat image cameras where it's like, it can be dirt black night, and these cameras can pick up the animals and basically put you like a daylight picture almost of what happens at night. And it's really kind of a neat little show. It shows, you know, the safari animals like the cheetahs and the lions and how they hunt and who they're going after, and the hippos, and the lions are trying to drag down the hippos, and the hippos aren't that fast, but they got a thick skin, and the lions finally just gave up. They're like, I can't get through this tough hide, you know.
Yeah, I need you to do something.
What do you need me to do?
You'll give me batteries for this. I will talk to these people.
Why the batteries are in here?
I know, like, don't they work?
Yeah, that should work good. You plug this into your laptop, and then you do that, and it should be good to go.
How many things? Okay. Yeah. Where's the mouse thing?
That's it. You don't need the cord. You just plug that in.
I know. Where's the? It's not.
I gave Brady one of those wireless mouses I've got out of the dumpster. I got a display, and it had 3 different demo mouses on there, and I thought they were shells. And then when I got them in the car, I took one off and opened it up, and it had a battery in it. And so they all 3 work. It's kind of cool.
Wow.
So, well, what's going on? You do a little talking, and I'll sort some paperwork.
I don't have any words.
You don't. I'm just glad somebody popped in, man. It's like sometimes you talk and you're like nobody's out there, but it's just like it's accountability, you know, just having somebody to.
Dad,
Yes, Brady.
the battery doesn't work.
Say what?
The battery does not work.
All right, well, I'll have to do it later, okay?
Dad,
What?
just do it now.
All right, I gotta go get Brady a battery for his wireless modem. So excuse me for a second.
Wait, Dad, you got these new shoes?
I'll try and be good.
Yeah, he's doing some different stuff, isn't he, Myra? Just throwing some stuff up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those are sweet.
You like them?
Yes. Here,
All right, please.
please. They're cool.
Here, try this.
Who do you think's gonna win this Super Bowl?
I don't watch the Super Bowl.
Is
We
it
don't
real?
have Super Bowl here. We have Grey Cup.
Wait, Dad, where does he live?
So, Cliff, what is your not to get political and all that? What's your opinion on all this coronavirus?
I haven't paid it any mind, to be honest with you.
Really? Yeah, it's kind of like, that's another one of the Netflix things. They got a show on pandemics and all that, and it's like they said, it's not if it happens, it's just basically when. When is it going to be? They basically got to stop it in time because it's basically, started in China, but it's kind of gone around the world, limited, and if they don't catch it. Just think if they waited another week or two, and they still don't know because the numbers are still going up. When it starts leveling out and then going down, they'll know they'll have it under control. But it's got an incubation, or it's contagious even when you don't even know that you've got it. And then when you're supposedly not contagious, they say it's still contagious. So it's got weeks of being contagious.
So it's contagious when it's dormant.
Yes. Yes.
Wow.
And they said it kind of they tracked it back to some of the Chinese wet markets where they had where the animals are sold and they're chopped up and live to raw and all that. And then they had, I guess, the Chinese New Year, and then now it's everybody kind of went back home, and then China's it's any government. They manage the public tolerance of information, and they're never very truthful. Even our government, So it'll be interesting to see. They're done. I mean, if they're like building hospitals for this thing, it's got to be pretty serious. And I guess if China can probably put up a hospital in 30 days. In America, it takes a year and a half. Yeah. So Jennifer, I think we had a case at George Mason, or just up north of us, and then I think there was a couple. Yeah, they're kind of around. So that's another guy I watch on YouTube. He's called the Canadian Prepper, and he seems to have a pretty level head in the way he looks at numbers and what everybody's doing and all that. So you have no worries, Cliff, huh? No worries.
I don't talk to people.
Right. That's what, so Myra, you talking about John the other day. He was talking about he's already bought, I think, or his Christmas for next year, because if it, they could theoretically shut down the ports and the import-export stuff if it got bad. They're already limiting. I think America, United, and Delta have cut off all flights to China. They're not flying out of China anymore. And just think if they start cutting out all the import-exports and the supplies and all that. So, yeah, Cliff, you're black and white. Is it? You have your StreamYard set like that?
Black and white.
Yeah. Is your video
Is that yellow?
Yeah, that's showing yellow. Okay. Maybe he's in a black and white room.
That's black and white.
All right. How do I do? Let me see. I'm in the blue room. It's the Oompa Loompa room for Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Am I blue?
Yeah.
Let's see what else I can be.
Oh boy.
This is I Love Lucy. And the Lucille Ball Show. Desi Arnaz. There's my black and white. I need to learn how. All right, let's see what Myra says. She's always got, at the rate it's growing, they have 2 hospitals opening this week in Wuhan. They need 8 more hospitals of the same size next week. Yeah, did you see Myra, did you see the video of the guy? He was a Chinese journalist, and he was able to broadcast. I guess he was using whatever that program where he could get past the censorship. And he said, I don't care if I die or not. He said, the truth needs to come out, and how they've been around to 6 different hospitals. And so we're not getting the whole story. I think you just have to kind of watch. And I'm not a big fan of public spaces right now anyway. I don't like big crowds. I try to be situationally aware. It's kind of scary, really. We'll see. Gotta watch what the politicians do. If they stay up in Washington and all that, everything's okay. If they start like dispersing, then you know something's up. Yeah, we've got a road project, Myra, in this area that it's going from 2-lane to 4-lane. It's been a year and a half. $600,000 over budget. And I always say, if the Chinese had done it, they'd have it done in 30 days. And it's taken a contractor a year and a half. It's still not done. It's still not done. They should require, one of the last things they got to do is build a concrete bridge with pilings and all that over a creek. And I'm like, they should have made them do that first, because if they're qualified and smart enough to build a bridge, then they could build all the roads and all that leading up to the bridge. But they're waiting, and then they get into winter time and the rains and all that. And the state guys, there needs to be accountability like that. Whoever hired those contractors who had been on probation before, they shouldn't hire those guys. But so are you still sourcing from your piles around the house, Cliff? Are you going out? You got storage units? What do you got going on?
Yeah, I'm picking up stuff around the house still.
Yeah.
Too broke to buy anything.
Yeah. I've got I've still got to just clean my piles up. Caroline had mentioned, we need to have family yard sale. And that's great. And then I don't want to even have to buy stuff here. I just want to sell my stuff, and it's funny how I guess some people just don't have stuff, when you're starting off reselling, source from your own house.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know. We'll see what I do this spring on, I like the thrill of the hunt at yard sales. Save the stuff.
Oh, for sure.
Dump and all that, but I don't want it to clutter up my house like it did last year. What Jennifer say wow about? What is she wowing about? Uh-oh. It'll pop up on my come on, Myra's chat. It's got to pop up for me to highlight. It's got to pop up on StreamYard, doesn't it? I think. There we go. The USDA deregulated meat labeling. Some of our meats are processed in China. sure? Really? Did that happen just recently with Trump deregulation, or what is it? Because that's like Myra. Honestly, I try to not eat any food from China except for mandarin oranges. Seems to be the only thing that I can't find an alternative source for.
I actually this December I had some mandarin oranges that were made in the USA.
Were they really?
I think they were from I want to say Sunripe.
Huh.
They were really good.
So that being said, I keep talking about Liz, my Sprint girl. I delivered, her headboard that she had got from the home goods store or whatever. And I had one of the houses I was cleaning out. One of the last things they did was clean out the laundry room. And in the laundry room, there were irons in the cabinet, and they had an old electric can opener. It was brand new can opener. And I asked Liz if she wanted the can opener. And she said, no. She said, I don't eat anything that's processed. And I'm like, good for you. Good for you, Liz. That's smart. We make oranges in Florida. Myra, you know where I get my oranges? The Aldi's dumpster. Not the ones that are in the bottom. They're in the box. They throw away like whole bags of oranges with one orange that's soggy. They'll throw away the whole bag. So.
Oh wow.
I remember we used to, when I was a little boy, we'd drive down Interstate 95, and the first Florida rest stop you pull into, you can get a free little Dixie cup full of orange juice. And I think to this day they still do that. They give away orange juice at the rest stop. But I remember that as a little boy going down there. I think we were headed to Disney World. And get some orange juice. Get a freebie. So I tried to get a new contact for one of the restaurants here in town. One of the guys was up from, it's called Shane's Rib Shack, and they're based out of Atlanta, Georgia. And the guy, AJ, his name was AJ. I remember Apple Juice. He was up there trying, I guess he had fired the manager that was there and had hired a new person. And I had mentioned to him that, hey, I do some maintenance handyman work at some of the other restaurants in town. And that if he ever needed any help, let me know. I said, I used to be a handyman. Now I sell on eBay, but I still pick up side work. And I said, the neat thing about my business model is if I got to go out and spend $50 on supplies, you reimburse me for the $50, but my time, I work out a food trade. And he said, oh, that's good. They like that because that doesn't really cut into their margin as much as cash. Myra, did you see the necklace that Soldier Boy has back here? Yeah, Myra sent that necklace to us for Christmas. And now we've got it on our jewelry holder right there. So I saw that Tracy, uniquely me, just made $1,500 today, I guess it was. So that was cool.
Wow. I made 50.
You made what?
I made $50 today.
Oh, you did? What'd you do?
I was talking about calculator.
She made 1,500 subscribers.
Oh.
She had hit 1,500 subscribers. All right, man, tell me something brilliant. All right, let's see what she says here. At the visitation centers to this day with all the flyers on every attraction in the state. I remember, Myra, I don't know what hotel we stayed in, but I remember it had like a little quarter machine on the bedside table, and the bed would like vibrate. It had like a motor that had an oblong pulley wheel or whatever, and it would like raise and lower the bed, and it would vibrate. And as a little kid, we thought that was the funniest thing. We probably could have gone south on 95, stopped at the restaurant, drank some orange juice, went to the hotel, rode the vibrating bed for $5 worth, and then just headed north again. We wouldn't have probably even needed to go to Disney World. That's a little kid. Yeah, that's the coolest thing, man. And one of my favorite rides at Disney World, it's a ride called Carousel of Progress, and they still have it. It's over in Frontier World or Future World or whatever. It's the one right to the right as you go in where Space Mountain is. And it was a ride that they did like, was it like in the 50s at the World's Fair? And it basically had a center hub or heart of it, and it had about, I guess, 6 to 8 different scenes. And then on the donut, the ride around it, you basically sat in the room, and the room would rotate to each one of those little hubs, and it talked about progress of technology. And you don't ever have to, today, you don't even have to wait in line to get on that ride. I hope they keep, I don't know if it's still open or not, but it was a good little ride. It's a good little break because it was air conditioned, and sometimes the people would get bored and get up and leave, and then they'd have to stop the ride and say, please do not leave the ride, you know? No, she hit 1,500 subs on her Uniquely Me YouTube channel. Yeah, that'd be a good day. $1,500. Yeah, and then the people mover thing that's up above too is a cool little ride too. That's never that crowded, and you just kind of sit on it and it rides around. That's one of my favorites too.
Is that your ghost knocking or mine?
It's my kiddos upstairs. You hear them? Wonder if they hear you talking, Clifton, and they're just making more noise. Hey, have any of y'all seen Marcus Brown lately in any of the chats? I've got those Pokemon cards that I bought from Jerry Whitney, Uncle Jed's auction shed, and I'm trying to. We were talking about the other day. We're talking about going outside your wheelhouse and good buys, bad buys. And I bought these Pokemon cards, and I thought, oh man, I can make some money, and I probably could make some money on them. I'm just not interested in them. I shouldn't have bought them. They were outside my wheelhouse. Just like when I bought all that vape juice. I ended up getting rid of that and breaking even on that, thank goodness. But sometimes when you go out, it's going to be a home run, but it's not. If you're not excited about reselling it, don't buy it.
Yeah, I've had a lot of stuff where I brought home, and like probably 90% of my sourcing I do blind. I don't comp it. Just if I'm fascinated with it, I'll buy it, and if it's $1.
Right. Yeah.
And then I'll get it home, and I'll be like, I'll look it up, and I'll just be like, well, this sucks. Just put it in my pile.
Yeah, there's something to it's like yard sales. You don't have time a lot of times to or you go around and grab it all up first, and then do your research. But then you're like, well, I got to get to the next sale. I got to get to the next sale. And if you've only got $1 in it, just take the chance and go. But then,
yeah,
I feel you on it because you put it in a pile, and then 2 years later, you find that pile. Oh, I remember that,
Like that fish camera that I bought a little while back. It was behind me here. I finally sold that. But when I first saw it in the store, I saw somebody looking it over, and he looked at the model number, and he saw me come around the corner. It was out of Valley Village. He saw me come around the corner, so he put it away. He put it back on the shelf, and he grabbed his cell phone right away, and he walked around the other side of the aisle.
Right.
And about the time I came up to that camera, I heard him go, "Holy!" So I just grabbed it and threw it in my cart.
What'd you sell it for?
180 bucks.
Yeah, that's great.
It was 14 bucks.
Yeah.
That camera was 450 brand new.
Wow. Yeah, I've got some cameras. I'm just trying to bundle it up and get the stuff out. I'm not enjoying it anymore. But I got to get it listed.
Yeah. I'm not actively bidding on storage units, Myra, because I don't have transportation. But I am keeping an eye on things. A little while ago, I was actually looking at used vans and used trucks. And I really want a Sprinter van. But even a used Sprinter van, you could buy a brand new pickup for less.
Sprinters are nice.
They're beautiful to drive. Nice to work with. I'm actually looking at an old school bus. It's not that old. It's a 2003. But you take the seats out of that, that's one hell of a cargo area.
So, Cliff, this is a cool. I showed this the other day. I got this clock, but the radio works, but the clock doesn't. And I'm wondering if the clock is with a fuse.
Is that a flip clock?
Yeah, see it?
A flip clock that don't flip?
It's not. I'm wondering if if it's on a fuse or something. The fuse is just blown. I mean, it does have a couple panels on the bottom I could mess with.
Yeah,
but
I'm not sure.
There's one other one listed on eBay right now for 24, and they're selling it as is also. And I can't. Yeah, I know it's business. I hate hopping on a listing like that and then undercutting the guy. But it is business. But he's the one that's already built the listing. Yeah, and
I'm like that on
You what?
I'm like that on Amazon too. Like if anything, I'll match the lowest price that's already available.
Right.
But if it's something that I don't plan on buying again, I'll undercut the crap out of everybody just to get it out.
So was the vehicle your mom hit with the deer with, was it totaled?
It wasn't totaled, it was repoed.
Oh. So she was upside down in it?
No.
Oh. But they still repoed it, huh?
Yeah, she just got behind in the bills.
Oh, I gotcha. Yeah, so what should I do with that clock? I'm just like, I got it for nothing. I pulled it out of the shed of one of the houses I was cleaning out. It was like the last walkthrough. I didn't have to clean everything out in the shed. Should I dabble with it or just donate it? Take it apart just to see how it works?
Yeah, it might be one of the components inside on the circuit board that's cooked.
But is it worth my time for $20? When I got all this other stuff I need to be doing.
Or if you get it working, list it for 45.
Yeah, that's true too. Oh my gosh. So I'm haven't been sleeping good with all this stuff going on with my mom, and I'm debating on whether I'm going to do a YouTube video on, things to consider when you're putting your loved one into a nursing home, especially with dementia. Top 10 questions or whatever.
Hmm.
I don't know. All right.
If you were in Canada, I'd say don't put her in extended care.
Yeah.
But my mom's dad was in an extended care in Michigan, and that place was awesome.
Yeah. Probably about 20% of the staff seemed like they cared. The rest of them were just playing games with you because they were acting nice, but I didn't feel like they were nice, sincerely nice.
Yeah.
All right, it's unplugged.
If it's unionized, most likely the day shift is going to be the one that cares.
Right.
And the night shift will be the ones that don't care.
Dude, they're just not communicating. And communicate. So I've got to talk to my brother and sister and figure out what we're going to do. I mean, I even was saying, I'm going to call 12 on your sides like the local TV station, but I think it'd be more beneficial to basically call the state regulators or people, and because then that'll protect more. I think it will protect more patients. Man, what if I opened this up and it had money in it? I'd be grabbing everything out of everybody's house.
Just when you're trying to clean out your house, right? Then it fills right back up.
Fills up because of.
But honey, there might be money inside it. Get the screwdriver. Well, you got $0 into it, so the worst thing can happen is you break it.
Guess I could be right. Well, that's me. I'm normally pretty good about putting things back together. How many screws? It's got 4, 5. These screws too, maybe? I don't know. long screws here. That was long. Is anybody watching the uh-oh.
Yeah, that comment got deleted.
Oh, it did? I don't even know who
Yeah.
she is. Thank you. Let me go back. Everybody's got wrenches that needs them probably, yeah. Uh-oh. So some of these have little watchers on them and some of them don't. Uh-oh. Aha, here we go.
You need a BFH.
What did Tracy? Remember Tracy did rebuilt something or whatever. Oh, there we go.
Well, she fixed a. That was a massager.
Massager.
But I'm guessing some wires came off the switch. And the handle.
Just smells old, man. It's got the little, the dials have the little rope around. And then it's got that magnet in there. Solid state speaker. I honestly wouldn't know where to start. Trying to think if I can get this thing off the top. I remember I used to take TVs apart while they were still plugged in.
Yeah, because electricity wasn't as bad back then.
Yeah, but if you touched the chassis or whatever, you got shocked.
Yeah.
So this thing, I'm taking this apart now. I don't think I'm gonna get it back together.
Hell, whenever we had an old TV, like the old CRT style. We had we'd take it out to the bush and whack the back of it with a sledgehammer, and it'd blow the picture tube out through the screen.
Wow, this is pretty neat little.
Hey, it's 420.
So it's Japan. All this stuff is from Japan. So I'm sure it's a pretty solid.
What brand is the radio?
Sound design.
Or the clock?
Sound design.
Sound design.
That was just like a beginner grade, I think. But I mean, this is at least a 40-year-old radio, and the radio, well, it buzzes. It doesn't pick up too good. Here, I'll show you the.
Well, there you got your schematic diagrams on the bottom.
Yeah,
there.
you
Just
see
follow that.
Somebody would appreciate this, but not me.
Does it smell burnt?
Nah, it smells just the musty old electronics, you know. I mean, it was out in a work shed in the guy's backyard, so I'm sure it got hot.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't even know where to start.
Hey, John.
Yeah.
Nevermore.
Oh, is John here?
Yep.
Hey, those terrariums were pretty neat, John. Yeah. Well, all right. I'm gonna just try to throw this back together just for the fun of it, and then I'm just gonna donate it, I think. I had my $1 worth of fun. Oh, wow. All right, so I didn't think I needed. What's up?
That would tickle me right pink if you plugged it in and it started working.
Oh, I know. Sometimes it does just, you need a little loving on it. So something, those long screws have shifted. What are they? Sometimes you can get the speaker Oh, that's what that was. That was the clock that was loose. Let's see what I did. All right, so yeah, we'll get it back together. So they've got a jewelry store that's just went up for 70% off in our area. And I'm going to go see if they've got any signage they want to sell. Jewelry display stuff, which you can get a dime a dozen from China. It might be a little better quality than I could get. And then old catalogs like Rolex catalogs and all that. That stuff sometimes has some value. My phone keeps dinging.
John number 2 wants to come in. But you don't have a camera.
It's me. I'm not no dirty guy or doing anything crazy. My camera's at the store, so I've got a friend of mine. He's sending me another camera, and it's like a 720p or something like that, or 720. And like my internet's so bad at home, I was gonna buy a new webcam, but there was no need. It's garbage. My internet is here at the house. Have you been doing Cliff?
Not bad, you?
Oh, pretty good.
We need John to
actually.
click that. We need John to, when he comes back, to get him to click that button, because I know I'm in frame.
Yeah. That's the one thing I don't like about StreamYards is the I call it the claustrophobic. that
Not that button. The next one. The next one back.
we got the star.
There we go.
There we go. There we go.
So Cooper, I got this.
So are they guys from the chat?
Yeah, they're coming in.
Hi.
All right, hey, hold this flash.
Hello.
All right, I'm trying to reattach this clock so we can throw it away.
Be careful. There might be some capacitors in that thing that still have a charge.
I know. I've been shocked. Yeah, and they're dangerous, aren't they?
Yeah, they can be. And yeah, I was working on a project earlier today, but I just can't do projects like I end up like I thought about creating a whole YouTube channel. It's just me doing projects and completely screwing them all up because like I can't do anything that like turns out good. Like I start out with good intentions and then I either get too big of a hurry, especially when it comes to painting stuff. Like I just have no patience for that. Wait 24 hours to put the second coat on? That's nonsense.
My buddy, my cousin Eddie, he built a wooden kayak in his garage. Imagine the patience you have to do that.
Wow.
Yeah, that's not the patience that I have. I want to glue it together and I want to be on it in 5 minutes. Like I'm like, oh, I just glued it together. Let's go see if it works. It would not work. It would not work at all.
Oh,
I want to say hello to Bumcrack Picker. Haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah, he popped in.
BCP. Jennifer Hayes is in the chat. She's out there being beautiful as usual. Buying space. The full cliff. Full frontal cliff is what we want. What was somebody got Cassandra Rose. They got hidden. They must have been a bad person.
Yep.
It's funny how people come out. I mean, everybody should be, I guess, are watching the Super Bowl. We don't have. I call them indoctrination boxes in our house. We don't have like cable or anything because it's. I just ain't nothing on anymore that I care to watch.
You know what?
I'm starting to feel that way with my satellite subscription. I mean, there's probably only 5 channels that I watch, and I'm paying for 200 of them.
Like, honestly, there's so many good YouTubers out there that are just making YouTube content that, like, why pay for TV? Like, I can watch
Yeah.
John take apart a radio, and, it's kind of like NASCAR. If he gets shocked, it's a bonus. And it's just excitement, You're like, you just never know. But seriously, though, like, there's so much good stuff out there that, like, I mean, I've started making terrariums to put in my store because I freaking started watching this guy that just all he does is terrariums and aquatic fish tank builds and stuff, and I'm like, I mean, that's way better than anything that I'm going to get fed on TV. At least through YouTube, I get to choose what I eat. It's like going to the Golden Corral, whereas you might be able to watch satellite, but you're only going to be able to watch what they want you to watch. This is what you're going to watch at this time, and this is what you're going to watch at this time. What an archaic form of television. Like it doesn't even make sense. Like I believe that TV is a dinosaur and it's about ready to go bye-bye.
Yeah.
Now, I could be completely wrong with that statement. TV could be here for a while. I mean, you have stuff like the Super Bowl that's obviously on right now, and then people are watching it. But, I mean, you can watch. There's YouTubers out there that have literally millions of subs. I think that I don't understand why Google is the only platform that's been able to figure out how to monetize the idea of people creating content. Like, you would think that another platform or even a large TV conglomerate would be like, look, this is what they're doing, and maybe we need to get in on this and start allowing people to create content and maybe make this a competitive site. But a lot of these other sites, they don't monetize, and that's the big bait. That's the guy in the waiters with the fishing pole dangling the dollar in front of somebody. You almost there's monetization. You almost have it, and then you get to monetization, and then you realize that, wow, it's going to take 4 months for me to actually get a check.
Yeah, that guy he's talking just doesn't have his camera.
No, he didn't have his camera with him.
Yeah, my camera's at the store. I have an antique store, and I have a setup I've set up there, and that's a 1080p or whatever. It's a 1080 camera, and I mean it'll never work where I live at now. My video, I can't even watch anything at 480. It starts wanting to what do they call that? Where it just spins. Buffering. Yeah. Well, Nick, oh, that you are gone. Yeah, I know. I see why you're gone. That name, you got me there, Nick. You're pretty slick. Now you're
Mom.
Now you're gone.
Mama.
Here you go.
Here you go.
Thank y'all for watching. I mean, I'm busy on my radio. What did he say?
But like I said, I thought about creating a YouTube channel to where, like, it's me fixing random stuff, and I really start off like trying to fix stuff. But, like, you ever seen the videos of the guy that shocks himself and then just, like, at the end of the video, it ends up with me throwing random stuff through wood chippers because I'm over it. I'm like, no, this is dumb. I'm done. So, it's just like lighting it on fire, being so frustrated, because that's where I get to be most of the time.
That was one of the first videos that when I started just getting to know you a little bit, is when you shot up that VCR. Remember that in your backyard?
Yeah. That video cost me a couple subs because apparently some people did not like the idea that I did that.
That's what I was going to tell y'all. All these little porcelain figurines and all that end up, it's just not a big market for it, and I'm not a big fan of it because there's millions of them out there. So I put them in like a little cardboard tray, put them in the back of my pickup truck, and when they come home, if they've broken or smeared or whatever, We haven't set it up yet, but we're going to set up a little shooting stand in the backyard. The kids got little BB guns for Christmas.
Yeah.
We're just going to shoot them up. That's a good use for them. Nobody wants broken figurines anymore.
Yeah. Apparently, the halftime show for the Super Bowl, though, not to bring that up because, it is the not Super Bowl show, but apparently it was all done in Espanol. So that ought to have been entertaining for about, I think, about 10% of the population. And the other 90% were like, what in the heck is this?
Nevermore just said the halftime show was in Spanish. You could have been practicing your Spanish.
Yeah, it was. It was Jennifer Lopez and, what's her name? Shakira.
Sí. Cooper says, sí.
Hola, mi amigo. ¿Cómo estás?
Cerveza, por favor. Chila.
Dos cervezas, por favor. If you have too many cervezas, you'll be telling the waitress that she's muy bonito.
Señorita.
Señorita, tú eres muy bonito.
Un chocolate.
Chocolate. Makes me want to start listening to the Fonzie or something like that.
Yeah, what? 2 what? 2 years? What? Tiene 12 años? What is that? I am 2 years old. Oh, you're 12? Oh, 12. I gotcha. All right. Let's plug this sucker back in. It's a sound design. Let me see if it's got a manufacture date on the bottom of it. No. Hey, when was the last time you saw an electronic made in Romania?
Didn't even know they had electricity in Romania.
Isn't that crazy?
If anyone is from Romania in the chat, I am sorry. I did not mean that.
I did a mission trip to Romania.
Did you see a vampire?
No, we were in Suceava, and we built a church. And they had a lot of gypsies over there. You couldn't trust them.
Can't trust a gypsy.
They were scamming you big time, man, at the markets and all that.
What would they do?
Try to take your money and
How?
however they wanted.
Sell you a broken toaster.
That clock is at 4:22.
Let's see. Hold on. It's right. Let's see. What time is it? 9:16. I'm going to set it so it's right.
Every 1 minute, you'll have to reach over and flick it.
That's what I said. The flip clock don't flip.
Yeah, this thing I took it to the rehab with my mom and plugged it in. It wasn't picking up anything. She likes Christmas music, played all the time, and she just hums to it. I guess it brings back childhood memories. All right, let's see what we got here.
Like that.
You going to bed?
Yeah.
Going to bed, man. How about that?
Nothing.
Adios.
Bios con Dios, mi amigo.
See you another day.
Says go with God, my friend.
Okay.
I have family that my brother-in-law, he came over from Mexico, a little on the illegal side, and he ended up marrying my sister, and then he went through the program and became an American citizen, and so I'd go over to their houses, and they'd cook great food, but couldn't understand a word they would say. I'd just eat. I'd just be like. No, so I picked up a little bit, but I don't know. That's been years ago. Heck, I'm 40, and that was back when I was like 15. Surprised I remember anything.
All right, this is done. I'm glad I spent my time wisely.
Plug it in, see what happens.
It's plugged in. It's just humming now, just kind of like it did before.
Oh, was it what's it doing? Is it will the radio turn on?
Yeah, but it doesn't really pick. It just hums. It really doesn't pick up a station.
Turn the radio on. There's a chemical you need to get in your arsenal. It's called Deoxit 5. And it's really good. And what you do is you can spray that like how you took it open. If you'd had that Deoxit 5, you could have sprayed that. It's what happens is that there's oxidation that builds up on the anodes or whatever, the stuff that and that Deoxit 5 gets in there and it breaks it down. And I've saved a lot of really good electronics that way.
Huh.
Those flipping clocks are awesome. The sparkling vampires are offended. Buying space? I hope not. I hope not. I don't want to offend any sparkling vampires. Especially ones that are 120 years old that like 16-year-old girls. That would be horrible. That was the weirdest book ever when you really put everything in perspective.
All right, so just donate this as a non-working clock. Trash it. It's probably got bad electronic waste in it.
Man, there ain't nothing you can do about it, though. I mean, you might be able to put. Have you looked it up on eBay and see what one sells for parts?
Yeah, they've got it in there. Maybe I'll do that. Just throw it up real quick and as is, and then make $5, $8, $10 on it.
See, that's exactly what I do. Is like I will put shipping on it. I throw that stuff up, let someone buy it, and then sometimes there's people out there that love it, and then they take it and they do YouTube videos of taking it apart and fixing it.
Yeah.
Are you printing anything tonight, Cliff?
Nope.
Nope. I watched a video that made me think of you earlier. It was a guy that made a light-up chess set, and it was all 3D printed, like translucent blue and white plastics. And
wow.
And like when you move the pieces on the chessboard, like different pieces lit up. It's pretty cool.
That's the last thing I made.
A Chevy emblem with a skull in it. That's kind of cool.
And the stand, that's 3 different parts there. The stand is two parts.
That's cool.
So I showed this the other day. My sister got this merch for me.
Uh-oh.
She made me a beanie cap. It just says Vintage Garage on it, but it's still kind of cool.
That's cool. She did a good job.
Yeah.
I wish I had a cool sister like that.
I got a sweet sister.
What any you guys had any coronavirus outbreaks near you?
We were just talking about that earlier about I think there was one up in Northern Virginia that was tested or whatever, and I think Jennifer had said there's about 8 cases now in the US.
Yeah. The R0 value of that virus is about 4.08, and the Spanish influenza was a 3. So like it's highly contagious. It will transfer from for every one person that's infected, that 4 people will on average catch it,
or something like that.
Yeah. So like, I mean, it's the growth rate of it is actually pretty amazing. It's growing pretty exponentially. I actually had a chart that showed the actual growth rate of the virus compared to the 2003 bug that broke out that killed like 800 some people, and it took 120 days for it to peak, and within 20 days this coronavirus has has
Already passed that.
exploded. Yeah. Here it is right here. I can screen share, and it'll show you. Oh, you might have to pull it up. But that's it right here. If you look, this is the chart. It's how many infected by how many days. And by day 20, which this is posted on January 31st, so this would have been by the 30th, they had 10,000 reported cases. And SARS, if you look, it just shoots up like a rocket. SARS actually didn't start trending up till about probably about day 44, 45. And then it kind of took over. And then it kind of leveled out. Probably by day 100,
Was
it
it
started
both?
leveling out.
So, John, were both of those from China?
Yes.
So, okay, so the numbers are probably the same because I don't believe they're reporting all the numbers.
I don't think so either. This is the R0 chart for the new infection cycle, and it shows that like one person affects 416, 1664, 64, 256, 256, 1000. And when you get into about this area right here, I mean, really this area right here, there's no stemming that tide. It just has to run its course. Obviously, the different infection cycles, and I think the infection cycle on this is about 7 days. So by the time, by the end of February, we would know kind of whether or not, probably by the mid of February, they'll know whether or not that they've been able to stem the tide at all about this. But there was some people were talking about possibly having that there's a couple of labs that's actually got the virus, and they've started doing some research on it, and it looks like there's some segments from HIV that has been that this is a laboratory. This is getting into some conspiratory stuff, but that there is actually a lab in Wuhan that's about 20 miles away from the market where they say it broke out. And there was actually, if you look all this up, there was a Chinese person that was working in a lab in Canada, and they were expatriated out of the country because there were some issues where they were getting paid upwards of $50,000 a month by the Chinese government to share secrets. They were, and there's a really good video. If anybody listens to a gentleman by the name of Stefan Molyneux, he put out a video yesterday that is comprehensive. It's about an hour long, but everything that I know about this virus, he hit on, and then he enlightened me on a few other areas and kind of put some pieces together for me. And they sent the person back to China, and they feel that this could have been a bioweapon that China was working on, and that it got out because there was some videos of some of the people working in the lab around infectious disease. They didn't even have gloves on, so some of their stuff might have been
Contaminated.
Yes, their protocol might have been lacking. That's how China is able to build a hospital in 10 days, because they aren't exactly using OSHA standards, to build that facility, because they have free, cheap labor. When you, not to get all political, but when you throw people into prison camps, you kind of got a lot of people that can work for you and make stuff, and they, so they can throw stuff up like that. But if you ever, it's like wish.com. You've ever got anything from wish.com and you're like, wow, that really is cheap, crappy stuff. That's just what I feel is that, like, some of the stuff that comes, so like with the protocol of like laboratory protocols, they're probably not on par with, like, say, here in America or even in Canada. And so I think that it could have been something that got out. And the reason why I say that, and make a big circle here, is because they found that some of these diseases, this coronavirus is actually really responsive to HIV cocktail drugs. They found that if they use, there was one of the European nations found that they started using HIV antiviral drugs against it, and it worked pretty well. So they were thinking that's why they think it's weaponized, because there's so many. They can tell if something's been genetically modified. So it's it's pretty interesting. I don't know. I'm not too scared about it because I live pretty rural, and if things got bad, I have protocol in place to kind of close off my family from the world, and I don't think that America or Canada or um, most places really have a lot to worry about. The problem is with a disease like this is there's a 20% uh, rate of people who are infected by it that require really urgent medical care, because what it does is the virus actually attacks your lungs, and the little vacuoles that transfers the oxygen between your lung and the blood vessels that run around your lungs, it makes them hard and it makes them thick because they're infected, and then you have issues with getting enough oxygen. So they actually have to put you on a ventilator. And so 20% of the people that catch this need ICU, or at least some form of medical care, from being admitted to the hospital to being full blown, being on a ventilator. And it isn't the primary virus that kills you, it's the opportunistic viruses that actually come into your lungs, like MRSA and other infectious stuff that comes in and starts creating all kinds of breathing issues. So there's to bring it back to reselling. Right now, there's a big rush on N95 filtrate, like 3M masks. There's people out there buying them up. One reseller I know said that as of 2 days ago that he'd already did $12,000 in sales because they're selling them and on Amazon of all places. It's kind of to me that's kind of like it's kind of like a Kobe Bryant, like selling Kobe Bryant stuff after he died, and like taking advantage of like a possible pandemic, to make money. Like, I don't know what's going to happen.
My neighbor, I mean, we've got a damaged freight place here in town. I haven't been to it in months because I'm not supposed to be buying. I'm supposed to be cleaning out my house. They had a damaged pallet come in with N95 mask on it, and Kevin made $1,200 in a day.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Selling those masks, shipping them out by the case.
Yeah, and they're very sought after. Buying space said, I doubt it's possible to report all the cases. Well, the problem with the reports is that they're not able to make enough of the kits that they can test for the coronavirus. So some of the cases are going unreported, but there is words in China that they've actually stopped all burials and they've just went straight cremating, no religious ceremony. That's just what they're doing. And China is, they're they're not going to tell us much. They've already shut their stock market down.
So Mario, are you thinking about a stock buy on that manufacturer? Who is the manufacturer?
There's 3M. There's Filtrete.
For the HIV drug.
No, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, it would be a. There's just a cocktail.
Yeah.
Well, we can do a quick Google search.
You got to sign up for Motley Fool. They'll tell you.
There is drug class, generic name, brand name. There's I don't know about the company, but the medicine is Ziagen, Ziagen, Emtriva, Emtriva, Epivir, Epivir, and Viread, Viread. I would give you the generic names, but it's like tenofovir, disproxil.
What did you Google search? What'd you say? HIV drugs?
Yeah, but there's 51 more rows of drugs that are used to treat. So like, because there's some that blocks the protease and enzyme HIV needs to make copies of itself, and I don't think there's probably just one medicine.
Right.
Which goes back to the idea that the whole HIV came from doing research and trying to figure out they were trying to weaponize hepatitis. And that's some research that I did before. That'll get you down a rabbit hole. And when a disease comes out of absolutely nowhere, like that, I mean, but of course there's stuff like polio and I didn't realize that the bird flu, had almost 90% death rate, and so did smallpox.
John, do you watch Netflix? You have Netflix, right?
Yes, I do.
Do you watch that series on pandemic?
I have not, and I probably should because I run a Doomsday Prepper page.
Do you watch Canadian Prepper?
I don't think so.
Yeah, and then there's a City Prepper guy too.
Really?
I like the Canadian Prepper. He's really seems like he's pretty level-headed, and he puts up good content.
I thought about doing a prepping channel because I already have like 30,000 people that I could promote my channel to through Doomsday Preppers. But then I don't want people to know that I know.
No, you're not supposed to advertise, and you got to blend in and when it came up 15, I wrote down a list of one of the guys that wrote 15 things that you should have on hand. Some of the stuff I have, some of it I don't. Like bleach, I think you should have unscented bleach, whether you're a prepper or not. You need to have that in your house. For water purification and everything else.
You can get those straws that work really good too.
Yeah, the sip straws.
Straw. Yeah.
Yeah, we did one of our trips. Was it to Tennessee or one of them we did up in the mountains? We did hiking and we did the water out of the stream, up the trail, not down the trail kind of deals. It was kind of fun.
Yeah, it's amazing. The best thing that they find is that if something like this would happen, is just to essentially, pretty much, like Beijing, Wuhan, many of these major Chinese cities they're just vacant. Everybody's forced to be inside, and they say that's the best way. That's with an R naught value of 4, there's not really much you can do. In fact, we're starting to see a lot of cases popping up in Europe. 10 cases, I believe, now in Germany. So if there was 10 cases in Germany and this has an R naught value of 4, that means there are 40 people out there running around that are currently infected, that are infecting other people. And that's just the way it works. If it's, it's not 1-for-1 transmission, it's 1-for-4. So then those 40 people in turn, infect 160, and you can see how it snowballs really quick after it can be really, really dangerous. And there were cases in Japan and Germany where neither one of the individuals had went to China, but they had Chinese nationalists that they had come in contact with. One was in a business meeting in Germany, and the other one was a bus driver, just a bus driver. Hey, welcome to my bus. Get on my bus and sit down. And ain't like he's hugging and high-fiving people. And the other guy, he got it from from a Chinese person that came from Wuhan for a business trip, and he ended up infecting 2 other people that they know of, and that become symptomatic. And what's really crazy about this virus is like the 3 of us, one of us might get it and might just get a little sniffle
and not go all the way, right?
And one of us might get it and get real sick, and the other one might get it and might die. And men are more susceptible to getting this than females. I can't remember exactly why that was, but I watched a really interesting video, and I think it had to do with chromosomes. Then we are kind of genetically inferior to women because they have more complex. They have their XY, and we're like what XX, and like they have or they I can't remember. I never remember that. It's been 20 years since I went to science class, but they're more diverse, so they don't typically have all this same. There's not as many genetic abnormalities in females as there are in men.
Oh, flu's hit a man harder than it does a woman.
Yeah, I think.
I forget the scientist that was asked the question. I want to say Carl Sagan, but that may
He's
not
cool.
be it. But he was asked, the scientist was asked, what is the best way for somebody to survive the end of the world? And the answer was, be a 12-year-old girl. Because they are the most physiologically strong people on the planet. Like 12-year-old girls, they have less physical injury in accidents. There's less sicknesses in that age range because there's so much energy in their bodies.
Y'all make me want to go wash my hands. I'll be back.
Bluegrass Pickers live as well, and he's just freaking. I hope the poor guy gets a Super Bowl win. I mean, I'm not a big football fan, but if Kansas City wins, I'll be happy for all of my Kansas City friends. I mean, it's but if not, they got Mahomes, and they'll probably go back again a couple times.
What was he selling? Was he selling the die for baseball cards, or the football cards? What was the thing that he had that was so valuable?
He had that Mahomes autograph, 1 of 1. That was probably why he.
And that was in a pack of cards, or what?
Yeah.
And what was that? You guys just buy cards and just look for valuable cards?
Well, they do these things called breaks, and what somebody will do.
What is that? What is a break?
What will happen is that, say, like, you're the break leader, and you buy a box of Panini football, and what you do is I don't know how many NFL teams there are, but you do a buy-in, $5 per team, and say if there's 30 teams, there's $150 there. So the $150 buys the box. If any cards that comes out for your team, that you get those cards. So say if you say I want Kansas City Chiefs, then you buy that Kansas City Chiefs for $5. But typically what they do is there's certain teams that are more like, say Kansas City would be 10, maybe LA Rams would be 5.
And then the more like Patriots and all that would be 20.
Yeah, just Patriots.
Popular. I got you.
Yeah.
I got
so
you. Okay.
The people who want the better teams that have the chance of getting the better stuff, they pay more. And then say if you're just a fan of, say, Baltimore Ravens, and you could pick that up for $3. And then if you get an autographed Baltimore card, you're pretty happy because heck, I got a cool card and that's my team. Those are my boys. And then what they do is they open them up on camera, and they do the unboxings, and then people watch them live, and then they go through the card.
That's cool. Okay, and so he got that one that was $1,000 from a break.
Yeah, now it's $2,500, and if they could win the Super Bowl, it'd be worth a lot more.
Wow, that's cool. That's neat. That's outside my wheelhouse. Although my father-in-law's got over 100,000 baseball cards.
Holy cow!
In his collection, and autographs and all that. He picks up the athletes at the airport and takes them to the card shows. And
oh dang, man, that's pretty amazing.
He doesn't do that. He hasn't done that probably in the last 2 or 3 years. But yeah, he says that's probably out of his collection. The autographs are probably worth the most.
Yeah, right. I mean, that's always going to be. Yeah. Excuse me.
Hey, Christy. That's Oklahoma. All right. Hey, I'm going to get up. I got to put some stuff in the recycle box. What would y'all ship in one of these glass cases for your cell phone?
What would I ship in it?
Yeah. Baseball card.
I probably wouldn't. I don't know. Like you talking about using that as a shipping box?
Yeah.
I'd be afraid to, because I think somebody tried to steal it.
Well, what if you stuck that in an envelope then? But that protects.
Oh yeah. Then you could put anything that would fit in there, ephemera or whatever. And now Cliff is going to sing for us. He's going to sing Conway Twitty. Hello, darling. Nice to see you. He turned around on that one. He says, I ain't singing nothing.
Check these boxes that the 3D filament comes in.
Oh, yeah.
They're nice and sturdy. The only thing is there's a hole in the one side, right? But
yeah. I live in my town, and I do a lot on social media, so a lot of people know me, and I'm always just begging for boxes. And I'll come out, I'll hear the door open, and I'll be in the back working, and then I'll come out. I normally don't come out like real quick because I'm in the process of doing something. And when I come out, I'm like, "Where's everyone at?" And then there's 4 or 5 boxes sitting on my desk. I just take them to the steps and throw them down in the basement. We're getting quite a few boxes. Like I've got more big shipping boxes than I've ever had, and that's fantastic. Packing peanuts, I love them. I know people don't like them, but they're perfect. I should have did a Super Bowl commercial for my channel this year. I thought about that. I was like, I could have did a Super Bowl halftime show, like made a commercial or something.
I need to learn how to make a banner for my YouTube channel.
Yeah, that's easy enough, man. I can help you do that. There's a really cool program called Canva.com, and yeah, that's really easy. Use your Facebook page. Use your Facebook as your login. That's where I make most of my thumbnails at for my videos. I'm starting to see a lot of thumbnails with people traced around. Like, I don't know how they do that. I think that's a Photoshop thing, where they put like a white tracing around themselves.
Right.
Them thumbnail games are strong, my man. I don't even know. I put videos out and I get after 3 or 4 days, I'll get 400 views on it. And I'm like, I'll see other people put videos out and I'm like, they're getting 1,000 video views in a day. And I'm like, dang, what are they doing? Some of them, you look at a guy like Carrie Tornado, and it isn't too hard to understand how he's successful because he's good looking and he can sing and he's got excellent presence when it comes to camera. His angles are good when he shoots. You knew that guy was going to blow up.
That's where I copied off him. That's where I get my 2 drink minimum. It's only carbonated water.
Yeah, right. Back when I first started doing YouTube videos on YouTube, I called it it was an old man's game. This was the field was dominated by 40 and 50 something year old guys who made content, but no one had a huge channel. At that time, the only person that had any real presence on the internet was Pete. He had a huge
guy, the Alabama guy, and they did long videos, man.
Yeah,
they were on hours.
Yeah, I talked to Dusty about that, but that's what he says. That's what his base likes to watch, and I think you get kind of cornholed into making certain types of videos. And I make a variety of videos because I have an antique store, do eBay, go on Pix and stuff like that. And it's just hard because you might have liked my last video whenever I was at the Goodwill, but now I'm showing you a video of stuff that was brought into my store. And it's just really difficult, as if, you're doing the same video every day. People know what to expect, and they like that a lot. And it works out pretty good for people. I don't think that I've got a bad personality. I think that it's hard to make content that, for me, it's hard to make content that's the same every day because, for one, we don't sell a ton on eBay, and 2, there's now a lot of people doing that, and 3, I don't have a lot of different places to go. I have one Goodwill, I have a couple of flea markets and stuff like that. So it's really about the hustle for me, to be able to find stuff to be able to flip and make good money on.
So what'd you do with your trash can?
My dumpster?
Yeah, because then you get it burnt. Didn't somebody burn it or whatever?
Yeah, somebody just probably flicked a cigarette in there or something like that. It's
The back of your building's brick, isn't it?
yeah, and the one next to me is
That's
brick
already
too.
fire.
Yeah. But like a lot of that old guard is gone. What Buying Spree said those HIV meds are among the NRTI classification. I don't know what that means, but sounds pretty interesting. Watching Ford versus Ferrari. That's cool. No.
Myra, I threw away my Hardee's coupons. Since hey John, you gonna sign up for the no fast food February?
Well, we're signing up for that because we're wanting to start staying with a budget.
Right.
Because it's our sales were down really bad in January, and like we only did like $3,500 on eBay that month, and that's enough to pay our bills, but that's like nothing else. With the profit, obviously you have shipping that comes out of that. I mean, that's bare minimum, and but the store, I've got like $2,500 in that checking account, but that checking account don't get touched because that's to invest back into the store.
Right.
I'm gonna, because you typically have to run a business for 3 years before it becomes, profitable. So I'm trying to be able to use that money to buy more inventory to go back into the store, and that is where I am currently buying my eBay inventory too. Because when I go to an auction, I just pay for it all out of the checking account, and then the store, I put the stuff in the store, then that replenishes the money that I sold, and then I sell it on eBay. But if I just go to a thrift shop, then I pay for it out of PayPal. I've got a systems and procedures in place, but and I went to an auction Saturday though, and it was crazy.
So are you still selling LP or buying or selling LPs, or are they getting out of hand?
Records?
Yeah.
If they come in, I'll buy them, but they're just pretty if it comes in.
It's like a year ago, there might be one or two of the same album, and now there's like 20 or 30 of the same stinking album. It's starting to get flooded again.
Yeah. Well, this was the first time in ever that records outsold CDs this year. So there's still a lot of upside to that market, and there's a lot of downside to CDs. One or the other. I don't know which is which.
And it's the oddball albums that do great,
Punk rock. You want to make money selling records? Find you some punk rock, man. That stuff's crazy. Stuff you never heard of.
It was like black folk music was one. Yeah. And I looked up something one time, and there was all these albums with these half-dressed naked black people on them.
Really?
You know how you do a search, and then all of a sudden you say you search similar items or something?
Yeah.
And it wasn't a $6 album. It was like 18, 24, 30.
Uh-oh. Did he freeze? Are you still there, Cliff?
I'm still here.
Well. He'll be back. There he is.
Oh man.
You went frozen for about 20 seconds.
So our mortgage got bought out by another mortgage company.
Oh, that sucks.
It's a pain because then you're not sure if the escrow is transferred correctly, and then they hold it. I hate it. I want to pay my own taxes. I don't want the mortgage company to pay my home taxes. I want to just pay my
That's the-
mortgage that goes to principal and interest. I don't want them to hold my money to pay my taxes, to pay my homeowner's insurance.
Well, they
That's
do
the way
that
to do it.
because they took advantage. People took advantage, and they were not paying that, and then like the houses were being foreclosed. Or
Yeah, but I'm a responsible guy. I can do it. I can do it. But I
Yeah.
get penalized because everybody else or some people don't. You
yeah,
know?
they hold on. Well, they're going to make that decision. It's just for if you're a bank, it's a good business decision because guess what? I get to hold on to your $3,000 every year, and I get to hold on to that and lend it out to Jim Bob so that he can go buy him, a side by side.
Right.
So it's just more money for them to lend. I mean, I don't know if side by sides are a big thing in your area, but they're all over the place here.
Yeah, they are here.
They say it. When they own the side by side when the wheels are off and the skirt is up.
They're really popular with farmers here.
Now we're talking about transgender women might have a higher resistance.
See, no wonder you're getting the trolls.
Myra's getting them in. Yeah, I just find it fascinating that, well, I mean, I guess there's 3 of us here, so we got 2 other people listening to us. But
I'm not watching. I'm just in here, so I don't think it counts when you're in here.
it's entertaining. We're entertaining, Cliff. So I listed some sprinkler heads. I cannot find, I don't know where they are.
Here's an interesting bolo for anyone listening. Antique sprinkler heads. Holy crap! Out of like systems. I listed some the other day for $20 a piece. Had 14 of them. Picked them up at an auction for like $2.
So do you guys still have Sears? Do you have Sears?
We have a Sears, like just a little hardware store, like a little tool, sell mowers and stuff.
All right, I'll send you. I've got it. I was looking. Our Sears was closing, and they had file cabinets. And I opened the drawers, and it had a gift card at the bottom of the drawer. I called it in, and it had $6.32 on it. I'll send it to
Holy cow!
because you can't use gift. The liquidators got our Sears now, so you can't use the gift cards anymore.
You could probably use it online.
No, I really don't want anything to do with Sears right now.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean,
They did have some shelving units that I was thinking about buying. It was the ones that had the plywood that had the little finger clips that kind of go into the slot. And she was going to sell me the whole unit for like $50, which was a great deal.
Where's the TV room?
Where is it, Kendall? I had it over here somewhere.
Rick.
I don't know where the remote is, sweet Petey. Is it over on the table right over there somewhere, maybe?
Show him.
Oh, here's Hart. You guys saw Hart earlier. That's Kendall's new Build-A-Bear.
that's cool. I love Build-A-Bear stuff.
Matter of fact, Kendall is 8. They had some boys in there that were at 10, 11, 12 years old doing Build-A-Bears. And I guess they've got a male.
No, there's 15-year-olds too.
There's a 15-year-old. What were they doing Build-A-Bears? What style? What was the name? Were they like Pokemon or what
Yeah,
were they?
they were doing Pokemon and little bears.
Pokemon and just little camo bears, I guess, which I guess is cool. There's kind of difference.
You had a food
So,
forest
hey, Yeah, that's a good. Go to. He's a good sub. If you guys haven't subbed to him, I can't remember. I just recently picked him up, and he's got some. He's back to earth. He's all about kind of. I think it's a holistic approach and healthy eating and all that stuff.
Well, I hit the subscribe button and I ring that bell for notifications. And I like the I like the his banner is really nice. The green
Yeah,
grapes.
got that tree.
Damn.
Yeah. He's got 3,000 Subarunis.
So, hey, food forest. We were talking about the virus over in China. You have any opinion on it at all?
You know what happened to my iPad case?
Know what happened to it? Is it just getting old?
No, I'll tell you.
Let's see what is going on.
We are.
I'm opening it. Wait.
Oh, it's kind of shot here. Oh, yeah.
Here's a bolo, a Fire King Coca-Cola. I am a bad guy. Coke glass. $190 sold within 1 hour for a lady from Resellers Anonymous. Talk about crazy.
So I just pulled out that house. It had an old card table. It had the checkerboard on top.
Yeah.
And I think those card tables are going as low as 20, as high as 50, $60 plus shipping, I think. And I'm going to put it on Marketplace for 25 or maybe 35 and then go down to 25 and sell it mid-century modern.
Marketplace is amazing. I'm going to we get a lot of furniture, and I'm going to work on cleaning out my I got a little shed down there, and I'm going to work on getting it cleaned out so I can start picking up furniture and bringing it home and putting it on Marketplace, because people go nuts over that stuff.
Okay, no, please turn down. It's 10 o'clock. It's a school night. I know you like staying up late. Yeah, we've decided we're going to list in bundles. So we put a listing with multiple pictures, which would be multiple items. And then Caroline said that if somebody's interested in one of the items and they do something on it, then it pops the listing back up to the top. Is that how you understand it? That works?
What is it now?
And, like, let's say you're selling one piece of furniture. So you put one picture up on Marketplace and that's your listing. We're going to do multiple pictures of multiple items and put it all in one listing. And that way, if somebody comments on one of the pictures, that should pop the listing back up to the top of the line.
Be a good idea.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's a little bit more to manage, but if you can say, please comment under picture if you're interested, and because I've got a couple clients where I'm trying to get their stuff, start getting rid of some of their stuff. And hold on a second. I got to get Kindle to turn the TV down. Excuse me for a second.
I wonder what anybody have the score? It should be about over. Holy crap, there's still 1 minute, 25 seconds. I was freaking 10 minutes ago. There were only 2 minutes left. See, there's NFL time and then there's real time.
What's the score?
24-20 Kansas City.
Wow.
They came back from a deficit of 10-20. I don't know. Maybe they'll pull it out.
So I guess it was a good game. I didn't miss it. I didn't. Yeah, so 40,000 Americans die of the flu every year.
Yeah. Most of the time it isn't flu, it's complications. It's sepsis and pneumonia that really get you.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything about it getting into India yet either. That's going to be crazy if it gets over there, because they've got some struggles over there too.
Yeah, if it gets into any third world country or second world country with a underdeveloped medical system, you're going to see amazing die-off rates. Not like amazing is good, but they're going to be staggering. Maybe would be a better word.
Boy, I'm Mr. Talkative here.
That's why we like you.
Just say my grandfather used to tell me that I was a good boy when I was asleep.
Well, Kansas City is up 30-20 now, so I'm pretty sure they just secured their Super Bowl win.
They have a pick six or something like that.
I'm not sure what happened. It was 24, so it was a touchdown, I'm guessing, and probably there you go, the extra point. It's 31 now. I was like, yeah, there you go. You ever follow any of the? There's a couple of really good Facebook pages that if you guys ever shop at Aldi, it's called the Aldi Isle of Shame Community. I'm going to post a link in the chat.
No,
Aldi's,
didn't you do the Audi Nerd site or whatever? Audi Nerd.
yeah, this is just a different site, but it's a little bit smaller, and they're not as. I actually like the Isle of Shame a lot better. Like I like the group a lot better. I've started posting in it more, but they've actually grown to a 130,000 members. So that's crazy.
I question on the Audi Nerd site how many work for Audi, because some of those questions it just seems like they're promoting too obvious or promoting products.
Well, no, these people love Aldi. I think you could build a YouTube channel around Aldi. I really do. You could build a YouTube channel of shopping at Aldi, buying at Aldi, cooking food from Aldi, and doing like taste tests of Aldi stuff. Right. I really believe because this group just the other day, it's up to it's at 130,000 members. I'm not sure how many new members there are in the group. I don't have that access because I don't. But it's a cool group. Aldi's is a pretty neat store.
Yeah, I think you mentioned that, and I signed up for it. And it does get you. I'm an Audi shopper, so.
Yeah. Well, what's really cool is that they kind of point out to stuff that like you might like, and they're all going to pretty much what's that, organic? That's the word I'm looking for.
What are you talking about? Organic? Going what? What are you talking
about? They're produced. Now my wife's in the kitchen doing something. Don't you be mean to me, Francis. She's getting mean. Now this microphone on this headset is really good.
Yeah, so food forts. You got all these American quotes. I'm just wondering, is your opinion, like we've already said, is the numbers true coming out of China, or are they cooking the books? And is it pretty serious, or are you like, no, don't worry about it? I know if people were as worried about heart health and all that, they're not worried about it, are they? They just die from it. I noticed that there's some CBD companies starting to advertise on Facebook now, or YouTube, on YouTube.
Well, 57 seconds left of NFL, and we can get to get on with not caring about baseball season next.
Yeah. So let's see here. Food Forest say a lot of people have died in China that are not in the numbers, so we all are all programmed. Yeah, I don't necessarily believe any government really, but as long as you know, you kind of just take that into consideration.
Yeah, it's yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, saying that. I mean, yeah. No one has died in America yet, but I mean, we have the best healthcare in the world, and
I mean,
like
even if we don't die in America, it still could affect the world economy.
yeah, that's the
If things
problem.
get
Yeah,
crazy in China, and we're starting to see, we've got hundreds, almost 300 people dead now. If it doesn't level off and go down and starts growing exponentially, it's going to get. I think they could shut down export, import, and all that. I mean, it could be a big deal.
it could be very well. And that's the thing is, I'm not looking to create panic, but I'm also not looking to minimize the what's going on either. And I see a lot of minimizing going on. People are, especially people that don't need to be minimizing, um, like older people, like they need to be taking this serious because people over 50 are the that's the number one group of people that are going down statistically to this virus. You've got to be careful. You got to take it serious, and it's that minimalizing mentality that oh, I'm okay, I'll be fine, and you don't go to the hospital, and when you do go, it's too late. I stood there and held my grandpa's hand. He died of the flu, and until they got him stabilized in the ER, and then they took him to a room and he flatlined.
Wow.
You don't play the gentleman said earlier, 40,000 people die of the flu every year, and it's nothing to shake a stick at. I mean, if you get the flu, go get you some of that Tamiflu stuff. It'll help. Most cases, if you get it soon enough.
Yeah, that's what they were giving out over in China on the video that journalist was illegally sent out. He was filming them giving away Tamiflu.
You can just see some of the stuff that goes on in the reseller community, like it's just weird that at the same time that Grimes Finds went live, Storage Auction Pirate went live, and they're both competing YouTube channels, and both went live 8 minutes ago, and on it's absolutely insane to see some of the stuff that goes on behind the scenes. It's I don't know, just thinking out loud.
Are they friends or not? I don't know.
I don't think they're too friendly.
Oh, I always, one day Tracy Uniquely Me was talking about it's just like You can be considerate, but it's just like YouTube is like ABC, NBC, CBS, PBS, Fox. You put up content and it gives people a choice, and then people are going to watch what they want to watch.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, and don't get offended. And if you want to, more watchers, then you do more crazy things, or you do it at a more appropriate time, or you build better relationships, or, it is what it is.
Yeah. Right. It's but you don't have to step on somebody else's toes and go live at the same time they went live. It's tough. People, it's tough. It's a tough environment. I always say, YouTube brings a lot of different people to the playing field, and a lot of different personalities. It can be difficult. I always say that sometimes I get a bad rap because I'm vocal about stuff, and I say, well, the thing that I've learned in my 40 years of life is that the truth always comes out, and if you just sit back long enough and let people have enough rope, they eventually, hang themselves from the tallest tree, and people can see, people see what happens. And another thing that I found in this community is that in the 4 years, going on 5 years I've been in it, there are a lot of people that were here that are no longer here. So just be patient. If you don't like somebody, they'll be gone soon enough, or just don't subscribe to them, and then you'll be fine. I try not to. There's a lot of, like, on my channel. There was some weird stuff going on. Like somebody actually bought like 1,500 views for one of my videos, and then if you look, I don't know if it's still there or not, but in my Social Blade, the views were real poor quality views, so it killed the video. And then I ended up losing 1,000 views on my Social Blade because YouTube came in and goes, well, these aren't legitimate views, so they took them off. And I've seen other big YouTubers with some of the same stuff. People that have some of their videos have 30, 40,000 views, and then you start looking and you pay attention to their Social Blade stats. At least it was. I don't really pay too much attention anymore, but they were seeing big view drops, like they might lose 15,000 views. You're like, whoa, what happened? And then the excuse was, well, they were deleting videos, and that was removing those views. And I was like, or they were buying views for their videos, and they weren't very good quality, and YouTube figured it out and removed them. And
how do you buy a view?
You can Google it, how to buy views on YouTube. And people, what they do is it's the whole idea of fake it till you make it. You just buy a bunch of views, and people like it's when people see
subs instead.
No, because like if you buy subs, the subs are just, I mean, you can buy them in tandem, but the thing is that if you buy subs, and you're not getting the views, then people can say, oh, well, you've got all these subs, but you're not pulling in any views. And then if you get views, but you don't have a lot of subs, then people are like, whoa, look, they're growing. People are really interested in their content. So they'll buy views on their channel. And I've ran ads on my videos, like on Google. Now, when you upload a video, there's a thing where you can click on it and you can go right in and buy ads. And I've been working and trying to figure out, I figured out how to target other people's YouTube channels, not negatively, but like say if, Harry Tornado, like if you want your video to run before his video, I made a trailer for my channel that when you go to my channel, it says, hey, everybody, this is John from Nevermore Antiques, blah, 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 blah. And it has like 800 views on it. And I ran that and targeted several larger YouTube channels. And I brought in quite a few subs. And my ad revenue, or my ad cost was only $5 a day. So I think that a lot of YouTube channels, not just in the reselling community, but just all together, I think what they're doing is that they I think that they're buying Google ads and they just promote their channel, and then that helps get people in front of them. Now here's the deal. There's nothing wrong with that. And if you make good content, people will subscribe. But if your content's crappy, you're just wasting money. So you got to make good videos. And then the key is to get those videos in front of people so that they will subscribe to you. And that's where I seen a lot of growth, is that whenever I started buying ads at about $5 a day, I think I spent like $40 last month, just testing some stuff out, just trying to figure it out. And I seen like I had an influx of 130 new subs, which isn't earth shattering, but I also don't know how to set the ads up properly. If you look at your Google Analytics, you can see who's watching your stuff. You can see what age group, which demographic, and what you do is you set up age groups and demographics that are typically the people that watch your videos through Google Ads, and then you target keywords like Hairy Tornado or eBay or garage sales or whatever, and then the people, whenever they go on looking for, say if they type in the name of a YouTuber, then your video, I have had people message me, be like, hey, I was watching one of like, I ain't gonna name any names because people get mad when I do that, but just XYZ YouTube channel, and I seen your video come up before that. How did you do that? And then I share the information with them. I am not above. I've spent money to figure this out, and I love to give that information away for free.
So you put your video as an advertisement on the front of their video before they start playing their video.
Yeah, and you can see in the Google Analytics, there's one that's like a eBay Mom or something like that.
I think it's funny that on Blaze TV, where they've got Bloomberg advertisements on Blaze.
Yeah, but that's a waste. Like, you don't want to target YouTube channels.
Hilarious.
Yeah, for me, like, I target people that do the same thing. One of them that I target quite a bit is Curiosity Incorporated, because why would I not? He's a guy that owns an antique store that buys cool stuff and antiques. I try to find people that have the same demographic. I'm not really caring if, I'm not out there looking for the Funko Pop buyers. I don't do. I mean, I did make a video on Funko Pops, but just to see how a lot of things I do is testing to see how well something does. And I'm just like, you can go to Google, though. If you go to Google Trends, they will tell you what to make videos on. You can, if you look up Google Trends, it's Google Trends data, trends.google.com. Right now, the trending stuff, the top, let's see if we can find. Okay, right now, recently trending, 2 million searches. Did the groundhog?
John, hold on a second. Let me clean my table off. And I'm going to open up. I got all this. Man, it's just crazy. All right. So I go on to a page and I type in what? Google Trends?
Trends.google.com.
All right. Trends.google.
I'm going to jump out of here, John.
Okay. Hey, thanks, Cliff.
See you, Cliff.
Thanks for hanging
See you
out.
guys. Yeah, thank you.
All right. So saying Taylor Swift, Kim Kardashian.
Yeah. World Cup. If you want to reach outside, if you want to start getting some people from other parts of the country, do a video on World Cup items that sell for big money, right? That's like a pretty good video idea. If you wanted to make a video, say tomorrow, since probably by now the Kansas City Chiefs won, be like top 10 Kansas City Chief items that are selling right now on eBay.
Right.
And you can make videos just by looking at these Google Trends. If you start going down, though, recently trending, it says, did the groundhog see its shadow? Like, that would have been a fantastic video for today. Punxsutawney Phil, like, you could have did a thumbnail with a groundhog. Do we get an early? Did the groundhog predict an early garage sale season? And do a video about reselling and garage sale tips. You know, Jennifer Lopez age. And
And so
Tom Brady.
because I guess she was looking hot at the halftime show.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bad Bunny. I don't know what that is.
I bet you that was a TV commercial.
And today, another good one is palindrome. So people are they're looking for palindromes because today is 02022020 or whatever.
Yeah.
So I mean, this is a good website to go to kind of get an idea of what just if you're like, what do I need to make a video on? There you go. Did Jennifer Lopez see the groundhog shadow on palindrome day in 2020? You've just hit 2.7 million people searches in one day.
And Google is part of YouTube, right?
Yeah. So Google owns YouTube. Yeah.
So I typed in vintage garage, and it basically gives me a interest over time is going down. Interest by subregion. Illinois is very interested in vintage garage. Whatever that means. Oh, and then related topics: parking lot, Chevrolet service, yard, land, ceramic, antique furniture, vintage garage signs.
Yeah, Food Forest Permaculture said billboard by the highway with your YouTube channel on it will get you numbers to be a bigger channel, advertise in large newspapers. Yeah, I mean that's definitely that's not bad business idea. I pass out cards. Hey, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Watch me. But I find the best way to grow is when you grow organically, when you get that viral video, that one thing that just kind of explodes who you are. It really helps a lot. And the Kansas City Chiefs apparently won, I guess, 13 minutes ago. I'm not. Congrats to the Kansas City Chiefs.
Hey, Food Forest, where did he say where he was from?
Who?
Food Forest.
I'm not sure. I want to guess the woods.
The first time that my boys' baseball team, some of the moms found out I was a dumpster diver, they wanted to leave the baseball practice and come dumpster diving with me. That was funny. And then I brought some stuff back, and they were like, "Oh my gosh, they made some potato soup. They said it was either going to be the best tasting or the worst tasting potato soup they ever had." And they said it turned out great.
Wow. There's a bunch of Kansas City people happy. Happy KC.
I am from the planet Earth. Fellow Earthling. I was upset. I was gonna do a campfire the other night, and none of my buddies wanted to come over and hang out. They were gonna bring their guitar, and then I was gonna get my Dutch oven out, and it just didn't happen.
Yeah.
So, all right, man. Hey, John.
Yes.
We've been on for about 3 hours, so I think I better get.
Yeah, I was getting ready to hop off myself.
All right, so Thanks everybody for stopping by, checking out Dad's Vintage Garage. We're like I'd call myself a small-time hobby reseller. Dad, I got 3 kiddos, a wife. We live in Virginia. And
Dad, you haven't
what?
been on. You have to wait until you hit 3 hours.
No, we don't have to do that.
Yes, you do.
So, but thank you guys for stopping in, hanging out, and we'll start putting up some more content. I'm, like I said, I've got that nursing home stuff. I'm going to do the spoons. Maybe I'll do the spoons tomorrow. I need something relaxing to do. But all right, have a safe, good start of your week. Thanks for hanging. Bye, everyone. Bye, Bum Crack. Thanks for hanging, man. End broadcast, Kendall. That's it for tonight.